Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we're talking about the spell Shield of Faith.
Oh, faithful shield, I guess. Shield. Sure.
Yeah.
This bonus action cast time, cleric, paladin, war domain. So war domain, get it for free. Takes bonus action cast, 60-foot cast range, concentration 10 minutes. A shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. That's it. You need a small parchment with a bit of holy text written on it to cast this. Sure, why not?
Okay. First question.
Yep.
What does this not stack with?
This stacks with most things.
Mm-hmm.
So the only things that don't stack will specify they don't stack with something like heavy armor. So if you're wielding a shield, this works fine. If you're wielding unarmored defense, this works fine. Mage armor, this works fine.
Okay.
It's just the things will if a spell doesn't stack with divine shield, it'll say something along the lines of this doesn't stack with divine shield, or spells and other abilities you can't be benefiting from other AC bonuses from spells or something. I can't think of literally anything in the game that amplifies or is emblematic of that. That's how like heavy armor and stuff works with unarmored.
What about the shield spell?
Yeah, shield definitely works with this.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, do you want to start stacking AC numbers? We can start stacking AC numbers. It's basically what this does.
Yeah.
So like if you start with the most expensive one's plate mail, but if we're looking at like a first level character, let's say you got chain mail, which is 75 gold. Maybe that's too pricey, but it's around as good as you can get.
Sam, we're dealing in hypotheticals here. Let's go for the plate mail.
Great. If you got 15 grand, or 1.5 grand to start at first level, you're rocking a character with a base AC of 18. If you're war domain or a paladin, you have access to shields, and that can put your AC with just Shield of Faith at a comfy 22. Just to start. That's a first level character that can just have an AC of 22. So maybe don't give them plate mail to start. That's good advice. But like realistically, you can get an AC of 20 with very little issue. Now, if we take a level in Wizard, and you have access to the shield spell, and we're looking at an AC of 27. Round around, whenever you have first level spells to spend.
Those goblins don't stand a chance.
It's wild to me how easy it is to stack AC to that level, but here we are.
Yeah, this notably this, as opposed to the shield spell, that lasts one turn just when you need it. This is 10 minutes. 10-minute concentration always bothers me because it's like, all right, it's good for one fight, just as 1 minute would be, but you really got to hustle to make it to the next fight to keep this usable.
And hope that in both those fights, no amount of damage that did poke through drops this off, right?
Well, so no, you know what? If that happens, then fine. You don't have to hustle.
It's true. It's also
take
really
your time walking to the next fight. What?
It's really cheap to put back up. It definitely could have been a minute, and I would have not batted an eye. I don't know if 10 minutes really helps it at all. I guess in first level fights kind of does. First level dungeon delving, it's like, yeah, okay, like maybe you hurry to the next fight, like you said. Now, Bob, here's a question for you. Are you always casting this on yourself? And why is the answer yes?
Because why wouldn't I? I mean, it's a bonus action. That's nice.
I definitely could see maybe you're a light domain, or your goal is to play a spell damaging character as a cleric or a supportive cleric that is not trying to be in the front lines, that would put this on an ally instead. Probably someone stacking AC. Notably,
all right. I misunderstood your question. All right, I didn't realize. Yes. All right, you can cast it on other people.
60-foot cast range.
All right.
You didn't even know. You just assumed it was only good on you.
Then I don't know if I wouldn't put it on somebody else. All right, give me this argument again.
Okay. Generally speaking, whenever you're putting Shield of Faith on your character sheet, you're going in with the expectation of knowing with certainty you're going to be the one engaging that fight. You know with certainty you're going to be the one with the high AC. Normally the objective is to stack that AC, right? If you're a paladin, you also can take defense at level 2 for an extra 1 AC, and your objective is just to see as high an AC number as humanly possible. And Shield of Faith contributes to that, right?
Okay.
That's all fine and dandy, and why normally you're putting this on yourself. Normally you're, like, say, playing a war domain cleric, your objective is to go into the front of things and leverage a ridiculously high AC so that you literally cannot get hit. Putting this on an ally is a lot less beneficial, generally, because it's AC is something you want a huge amount of, and a little bit extra isn't always necessarily that meaningful, but it can be nice. more often than not, you'd rather see it lock out any opportunity to get hit at all over an ally getting hit 10% less. Like going from only crits hit me to, you know, I guess it's somewhat varied, but
I don't know that I agree there. I think if I'm a support cleric, I don't want to be on the front lines, but I do want those frontline people to have as much protection as they can get so that the baddies can't get to me.
At that point, would you rather have Bless for their hit and damage, or would you rather have Shield of Faith for the AC?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, that's something I hadn't considered. But
once you start looking at the competition for supportive options, when I think Shield of Faith starts to have a few holes poked in it, if you're not doing the AC stacking thing specifically, I do think it isn't the end of the world to consider this. It's really cheap to get up, or Bless is an action to cast. You can just like throw up a Shield of Faith and throw out a Guiding Bolt in the same, or not a Guiding Bolt, a Sacred Flame in the same turn. That's pretty efficient.
Another argument, it is, like we said before, it is a concentration spell. Cast on somebody else, they get poked. It doesn't affect your concentration.
That's true. You can.
The same is true for Bless.
Yes, I think maybe like if you're already in a fight, like someone ambushes you, you are dropped into an encounter. Shield of Faith is probably where I want to be over Bless, just to be like, crap, we need to like gain our bearings. Throw a Shield of Faith on the fighter. Put yourself in a position where you're not getting hit, and then let that AC bonus matter more as they take more of the attacks. That's probably something you could consider doing. And that's pretty fine. It's still not something I want on every character sheet, but on a handful I could see considering preparing this.
Oh, I could consider on more than a handful. I think it's a fine spell. It's very versatile. You can use it on yourself. It's very cheap. And 10 minutes, you might be able to squeeze a couple combats out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't cast it on yourself.
Yes. And if you're not trying to get hit to lose the concentration, it'll just stretch your resources even a bit further. It's still also, again, concentration on the low level spell is going to be an effect that you're going to pass over it for higher level stuff the moment they're accessible to you. So if you ever get Conjuration Magic on top of this, you're taking that instead. If you're ever putting like a 4th or 5th, 6th level spell into your concentration slot, Shield of Faith becomes closer to unusable because you want the long hour duration, big splashy 6th level effect up. You want your Summon Celestial or your Conjure Celestial to be doing your Quaddle thing, or doing your Avenging Angel shooting over like a laser radiant bow at people, and then not all of a sudden this can't be used because it ends a much more powerful effect. So this is still probably like relatively relegated to the lower tiers, and that is, again, unless you're doing the how much AC can I put on this Paladin build, in which case Haste replaces it for Vengeance, but beyond that, like, it's still kind of the best thing you get for Ancients and Devotion and stuff, and that's entirely fine.
It's too bad there's no upcast options.
Yeah. I think if they did upcast options, they'd be like every 2 levels you get +1 AC, and that does get kind of silly very fast. You're still looking at like, this is just +4 AC passively? Gross. Now I'm supposed to have a 29 AC, I have a 33 AC, so even things of CR 30 can't hit me. This is great. DMs out there that are struggling because they are fighting against the high AC brick, let attacks miss them, and then also mix in saving throws. That's how you deal with that problem, generally speaking.
All right, good advice there.
Big brain.
You got a rating for this one?
I mean, it's pretty reasonable. I think this is a 3 out of 5. I don't think it's breaking the game in half in a particular way that other features don't do better. Like, I think Haste is not only doing disgusting things on top of stacking AC, but it's like doing a billion other powerful things like extra attack rolls.
Well, but Haste is a level 3 spell.
Sure, but like I think Shield of Faith is flexible, cheap, is great to have on a lot of sheets. I'm happy to have it. It's also not warping my encounters at first level. It's not something that I think a lot of DMs really have to think about worrying about in the low tiers.
Yeah, I like it a little bit more. I think it's a 4.
That's pretty reasonable, I think so.
The versatility, the cheap costs, even the 10-minute duration, even though it bothers me a little bit. But yeah, you can squeeze a little juice out of that, and bonus action. You can I mean, I was thinking, all right, 10 minutes, that's good for, all right, I can prepare this before I go into the dungeon, but you don't even have to do that.
No.
Yeah.
I think what's also holding back from a 4 for me is concentration. I don't love that I can't cast Bless with this. I don't love that I can't have other concentration effects up with this at the same time. And I think that is a meaningful detraction for it.
It is. That's but I kept it out of 5 territory.
That's reasonable.
All right.
Great little spell.
Yeah. That was Shield of Faith. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. Let us know what you think of Shield of Faith down in the comments below, and like and subscribe and all that stuff, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description where you'll find my Caverns Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.